Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and we're doing another standardized armor guide. This time it's for Peter of Suchotlesky's armor. And now this one is fairly obscure because you have to find a specific quest to even get anywhere near being able to get this armor. You have to complete the quest, which can be challenging, and then in the end you have to do a dishonorable thing to even get the armor. I'm not going to go through all the spoilers and show you the quest and do all that sort of stuff here. I'll show you where to find it though, or at least the start of the quest. So in the second region of the map, so the Kuttenberg region, you're going to want to go down to the bottom left corner of the map, and now it's really hard for me to remember exactly where it is, but I can show you the road that I'm pretty certain it's on. So if you head down from where you start, which is Suchotlesky, or all the way up at the top at Devil's Den, you're going to be going down pretty much as far to the bottom of the map as you can, and somewhere on the road between Malashov, so this back road here, up to Wysoka, but it's going to be in the woods somewhere. I remember that. I want to say it's in this stretch of woods. It could be right here during this stretch, but I don't think it is, and it could also be right here. But it's on one of these roads here. If you're riding along, fast traveling, or if you're just riding along on your horse, you'll come across a cumin ambush. They're ambushing a wagon that has, if you get there quick enough when you enter the region, you will find a person who is a knight and maybe one or more man-at-arms still fighting these cumins who are outnumbering them. If you do not come upon it close enough, the cumins will defeat them, and the the knight will be wounded, and you'll find him down by the river. So yeah, wherever it is, it's relatively close to a river, which is why it makes me think it might be this little stretch right here. I just wish I had remembered the exact location. But anyway, it's in the woods next to a river, and I'm pretty sure it's in this corner of the map. But you find him, you talk to him, and he'll want you to go find his brother to get him ransomed from Sigismund's camp, okay? So in essence, that's how you do that. But doing that mission will get you to the point where you can get your hands on the important pieces of this armor that make it unique. And so now we're going to dive on in. This is a standardized armor guide, so I will be using the same base layer materials that I use for all of these, this time just a different color variant, but the stats are exactly the same. And we're going to be able to compare Peter of Suchotlesky's armor to all the rest of the suits that I've showed you in this series. So let's just dive on in and start off with the first layer. And the first layer is, like I said, the same as the other ones. Now, I use different color variants, but they have the same stats. So we started off with the short Pourpont, which has some of the best stats for a Gambeson in the game. This one is the green variant, and we have a stab defense of 14, slash defense of 46, and a blunt defense of 35. Then we use the padded chausses like we always do. Again, we just use the green variant instead of the red like we usually do. The stab defense for this has 31, slash defense is 43, and blunt defense is 34. For our footwear, we're wearing burger shoes like we often do, or well, sometimes we use boots, but the stats are pretty much always the same, so this affects it very little. But we wanted to use the green variant because we're going for a green suit of armor, and these have a stab defense of 1, slash defense of 4, and blunt defense of 1. Then, of course, we topped it off with the Noble's Belt and the Noble's Pouch, which, as we always mention, don't really affect the stats a whole lot, but they're the best in-slot items, and that's why I like to use them. The only thing they affect is that they each weigh a pound, and they each are worth 220 groschen, so they affect the weight of the outfit and the value of the outfit. But that is our first layer, so you can see, looks pretty dang good, at least in my opinion. As far as, base clothing goes, it's something that's not bad. And if you look down at our stats, it's actually one that you could just wear. It's got a charisma of 30 because, all the visible items, which in this case is everything we're wearing, are high charisma items. So you could wear this as a charisma outfit. So if you want to wear this suit of armor as your outfit, as your suit of armor, you could pair some jewelry with this one, throw a weapon on it or whatever, bing bang boom, you've got your base layer for the suit of armor is also your high charisma outfit. And just because I've seen requests for it, I'll show you what this suit of armor looks like at each layer as we go through it. So you can see that from a couple different angles, this is what we got. So shades of green are different, but it's all green, so it looks pretty good. So that's our first layer. Let's add the second layer. And so here is our second layer added on top, and it's the same stuff we always use. So we have the mail hood with a coat of arms. This has a stab defense of 28, slash defense of 77, blunt defense of 59. Then we have our hauberk long with a stab defense of 33, slash defense of 68, and blunt defense of 55, and our mail collar with badge, which has a stab defense of 27, slash defense of 68, and blunt defense of 55. So definitely getting a little bit stronger here. From the outside, this is what our suit of armor looks like at this layer. So definitely getting a little bit more armored looking, and obviously dropping our charisma by an extremely substantial amount. But let's add our third layer on and see what it looks like with with all the fancy unique armor. And there we have our third layer, which is the main armor layer, the plate armor, and this is where we see our unique item. And then we've paired with it a bunch of other appropriate stuff, so maybe this one shouldn't qualify for a standardized armor guide because it's not all named to go together, but it all looks so good together that I feel like it still passes. So this one, the main item that we're looking for, that you get a result of the quest that I talked about at the beginning from his brother Jan of Suchotlesky, is Peter of Suchotlesky's cuirass. So you can see it's this green brigandine cuirass with the Suchotlesky crest, which is a gauntleted fist raised up in the air, emblazoned on the chest. So the stab defense for that is 119, slash defense is 86, blunt defense is 31, charisma is 11, which isn't great. But that is our cuirass. Then we paired with that some green items that have good stats and also look really good with it. I tried to match the style and color as best I could, to support the fact that this is a cohesive set of armor. We paired the noble laminar hands with this, and there's a bunch of different variants. We obviously went with the variant that has, green on it. This has a stab defense of 126, slash defense of 92, and a blunt defense of 33. Then I did the brigandine gauntlets, again the green variant. This has a stab defense of 126, slash defense of 92, and a blunt defense of 33. Then we did the laminar knight legs with a stab defense of 130, slash defense of 95, and a blunt defense of 34, and topped it off with the noble's bassinet using the variant that has the green accents. So you can see we have a green band around the bottom of the aventail, or combined coif if you want to look at it that way, and the green accents that offer the padding for the visor. So it just has slight green accents to it. So that is the suit, and I think it actually looks really good. It's one of my favorite suits. I really like the ones that have a lot of color to them, because even though it might not personally be my style, it definitely stands out really well and speaks a lot to the vibrant colors that were very common in the medieval period. So that is our suit of armor. Stats on this have a total charisma when we're wearing all the items that you see before you, and no jewelry and no spurs. We have a charisma of 25. What that means is you put some spurs and jewelry on this, and you'll be maxed out for charisma, so automatically real good there. Other stats that we can look at, of course, noise is 100 because it's a full set of plate armor, but conspicuousness and visibility are not crazy. Conspicuousness is just 50 and visibility 66. So considering that it's not all that shiny, there's shiny elements to it, but the less shiny your armor is, typically the lower your visibility is going to be. And certain colors just seem to be more conspicuous than others, and green is one of the ones that is usually right around the middle. So I think that's how we get these stats. Well, I mean, obviously the actual way we get the stats is from the stats that your visible items have, which, you can tell by each item. I'm just saying those are the traits that I've noticed. But anyway, those are our secondary ones. But the ones we normally talk about for weight, this suit of armor, considering no weapons, no jewelry, no spurs, nothing like that, is 85.2 pounds. So on the heavier end for a suit of armor that we've covered in this list, but a lot of these items are pretty heavy. And then we have a total value of, again, just the suit of armor, no jewelry, no weapons, of 34,734.1 groschen. So it's actually quite expensive. It's significantly more expensive than a lot of the suits we've looked at. Now, a lot of that's because we're using fairly fancy items for this suit of armor, and the noble's bassinet itself is almost 9,000 groschen. But with all that being said, still pretty pricey, but that makes sense for the personal suit of armor of a nobleman. Then for our armor rating on this, we have an average for the head of 262, an average for the body of 225.3, average for the arms of 231.7, and an average for the legs of 181.3, giving us an overall average armor rating, or AAR, of 225. So it's actually quite good as far as armor value goes. Very close to the best that we've ever come up with in this game, which at this moment is 230. So considering how good this suit of armor looks, that's pretty good. There's one extra thing that we can add to this if we want. I personally like it better this way, but I'll show you what it looks like. So if you want to add one more unique item associated with the House of Suchotlesky, you can get the Servant's Hood, which has their crest on it. Now you can get this by stealing it from Jan of Suchotlesky, who is the person who will give you this quest. I did it by knocking him out and taking it from him. Probably not the most honorable way. That being said, stats on it are pretty bad. It removes the green pauldrons from the noble laminar hands, so I don't think it looks as good, but, it is unique and could be associated with the suit of armor, and it improves the stats by a teeny bit, at least the defense stats. So you can go with it or not. I prefer it without it. I just think it looks better, but that is also an option. So that's it for this armor guide. Like I said, the only way to get that cuirass, which is the centerpiece of making the suit of armor, is to do that quest. I wish I had recorded when I was exploring on this playthrough, because I missed recording it on the first playthrough, and so I don't have that footage. And then on this one, I came upon it randomly, and I was engaged in the mission and doing it before I thought, crap, I should have marked down where that spot was. But like I said, I know it's somewhere down in this bottom left corner of the map. It's in the woods. It's on the corner of a road, and it's right by a river, so it might be right here, because that kind of meets all of those things. Because, like, I remember it turning around the corner, and I came upon the humans. There was a hill nearby. I wish I could be more specific, but that's all for today. This is just an armor guide. It's not a tutorial. I'm going to share some high-definition stills of the suit of armor from some different angles now, but that's all for today. If you enjoyed it, awesome, but we'll see you next time. Oh, wait, before we go, I almost forgot. That was close. It would have been embarrassing. I forgot there are some unique weapons and a shield you also, or a weapon and a shield that you also get with the suit of armor. And so those things are the Lord of Suchotlesky Heater Shield, which is a 275 defensive shield, which makes it one of the best shields in the game, and also it looks very, very cool, what with the, you know, green and white color scheme and the Suchotlesky crest on it, so that goes. And then we also have a very unique looking arming sword, Peter of Suchotlesky's sword. This is, stat-wise, it's a pretty good sword with a stab damage of 136, slash damage of 144, and blunt damage of 22. But also it looks very unique. It has like a fist for the pommel, which of course matches their sigil. So it's a cool, unique weapon with a green scabbard. So again, it matches the suit of armor. And like I said, the pommel's a fist, which is really cool. And the shield is unique. So I almost forgot to include that those are also elements of this unique suit of armor. So that is where we're going to end it. So now I will leave you with some high definition stills of this suit of armor. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.